focus and simplify your marketing. It's the contractor's competitive edge to focus in on quality versus quantity and stop being fooled by those selling on the short term. This is my online toolbox providing weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of marketing with an objective to help you grow your business with more quality leads, amplifying more quality. We do it with a hybrid of education, giving you a strategy and implementation support if you need it. We also want to remind people of an exciting opportunity where two industry forces, My Online Toolbox and Contractor Foreman, are joining together to give a webinar for the intersection of marketing and operations for more quality leads and higher profits. A lot to show there, so pause this video for a moment if you want to read, and then more importantly, remember, go to the My Online Toolbox Facebook page to find the events tab so you could sign up. Space is limited to 500 people worldwide, so sign up now. And we also want to remind people that it seems that the last few weeks of our posts pertaining to the ultimate before to after comparisons was rather exciting, so go to the Facebook page or go to the My Online Toolbox YouTube channel to be able to see the differences of the ultimate before to afters for home builders, for design build firms, and even remodelers. Really cool stuff. You have to see it to see the differences of how they use technology to expose the differences of their before to afters. But this week we're moving into focusing and simplifying your marketing with amplifying quality and making sure you don't get obsessed with quantity. We're realizing that it's the end of the year and we're watching like clockwork all of these different offers coming out to remind people about how their lives are difficult and they need to change overnight. So we see all this stuff, especially like websites in 30 days, social done for you crowd, and what we're seeing is this is just limited. We could go on and on, but we only have so many minutes we could talk about this stuff. So we want to talk about websites in 30 days, and we'll also show you anyone who says they could do this quickly is lying. We also want to remind people we're very well aware our competitors are here too, learning what we're saying, and then they'll come out with their marketing campaign that's different and trying to do a spin on it. It just doesn't matter. Let's start with websites in 30 days because my Online Toolbox works with a ridiculous number of website companies. We do focus in on quality. And we always wonder that when we see these ads coming out with websites in 30 days, we have to wonder, are they just sitting around doing nothing all day waiting for your call? Because when someone reaches out to My Online Toolbox to either do it with our resources or resources we know, everybody is so busy, just like hopefully you are, where we have to schedule it. And we bet you can't even probably organize yourself with your images in 30 days. It happens, but it's very difficult. So why are you expecting somebody to be able to distort your brand in less than 30 days when you're not going to even have a moment to do it correctly anyway? Remember, this is the 1 to 5 year plan to change the game long term. And if somebody's even willing to insinuate that they would do it quickly, then you know where your long term destiny is. So man up to what your decision is, because it's ridiculous to have people think that your branding is going to change in less than 30 days to set the world apart from you and your competitors for 1 to 5 years out. Also, these website people better really know your industry and competitors, because we see that people will usually have this minimal experience with certain types of contractors, and then all of a sudden somebody else calls up and the website company doesn't have enough experience to differentiate what makes you different. And that is a big difference. And you're going to think they do because they show 3, 4, 5 different examples, but we like to talk about hundreds of different permutations and all of the things that you need to know, whether you like it or not, to be able to, again, differentiate yourself. So if somebody's offering you a website in 30 days or even 60 possibly, they better be able to prove they could do it, and then you can question, why do you get to be the lucky one to be able to get this new website going in such a short time frame? And also make sure you remember you're responsible for where the direction of your business is going in 1 to 5 years. And if you're going to make a marketing decision that's implemented in less than 30 days, we already know your long-term objectives, which is they don't exist. Same thing with social done for you. Anyone who says they can maintain quality is mostly, we like to say mostly, look at the words, we did diminish the font type, is lying. And the reason is so many of them start off with, we have templates that work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. You know, it's amazing. We're sitting on the receiving end just like a consumer, and it's amazing how many people will sign up for a service, and it doesn't even matter which one it is. There's just too many now to talk about. We get the post, and we like to share with them that it's the same damn thing that everybody else is sharing with us over a month, 2, 3 month period, and they just want to think they're different by splashing a different image, a different title, and after a while, it looks the same. Please don't lose sight over the cost to offset quantity of your post versus quality. We've talked about this so much, and no matter how you want to look at it, you're distorting the branding of your company over an extended period of time, whether you want to realize it or not. We tell all of our customers this: you are not the Kim Kardashian of the construction industry. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're being guided by people who their social skills are based on counting. They just simply don't see the difference of quality. And whatever they say to you doesn't matter. They live in a world where they stare at their phones all day, and you could pass right by them, and God forbid they could look up their head while walking at the mall to say hello. It's a challenge. Please keep that in mind. It's the way they've been guided. They believe it. And guess what? We're not even saying that some will succeed in the short run, but there is no way for your branding to set you apart for the long run if you're using somebody else's story and sugarcoating it. They are obsessed with taking somebody else's story and sugarcoating it. And that why? Because they're using quantity to guide them. We have done this for years and years and years, and we have been able to show repetitively how contractors do not need to post that much so long as there's something specific that helps them enhance their brand and their story. We're not going to get into that because you can go to our channels to see what we mean as showing real live examples. Sometimes they even pay the same exact fee to social folk or even my online toolbox or associated entities where they're paying to get guided to amplify their story. But the key thing is the quantity is less. We're not posting or pushing anyone to do 2, 3, God forbid, even more posts per week on social media because guess what, contractors? Nobody cares. You want to believe that they do? Please try to take a step back and think about how many people you could look at a post on from whatever services. Can you imagine if your auto mechanic was posting so many times a week that before you knew it, you're like, this is not the guy you rely on, or your electrician, or whatever it is, even your doctor for that matter. There's only so many people you're connected to that you would be annoyed, and you have to reflect on that. And then say, okay, now, there's a phrase called do unto others as you want done unto you. Think about it and just answer the question there. We're not telling you that the people promoting to you about this quantity driven social media escapade is not being geared by people that that's the way they believe. Now you have to say to yourself, do you really believe it? If you do, fine. Go sign up for those services, but don't think about your 1 to 5 year plan being any different than anybody else because they're all doing that short sightedness. We want to remind you never stop realizing quality is your competitive edge. Quantity is where everybody's signing up because they feel they're too busy. And why do you feel you're too busy? Because you're being pushed by some factor of X on how many times you need to say something. We disagree. We want you to say something on a periodic basis. That is subjective, but the period for my online toolbox is once a week. Could we post once a day? Of course. We don't have the time. And I don't even know if anybody would want to listen to us once a day because the reality is that they just have work to do too. So why are you doing any different? You need to answer that question. And remember, we have that presentation coming up soon, so please check it out if you're interested. And if you have subcontractors that need a kick in the butt to go from craftsman to business person, please consider pushing this to them because once they change as a business person, it will trickle up to making you more efficient in your general contracting world. Remember to grow your business with more quality leads, focus in on what matters, quality over quantity, and remember to start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Have a healthy week, and we will see you next week.